Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Rangers Review pre-match show. It's your team news reaction video live from Ibrox ahead of tonight's Europa League opener against Genk. Blair Malloy joins us from the Ibrox press room to go through today's team. The Wi-Fi is a little bit dodgy there inside the bowels of the stadium, so apologies if we have any technical difficulties, folks. But Blair, how goes it?
Good, Derek. I hope you can hear me here. It's a pretty busy press room. I think there might be a game on this evening. There's certainly a huge contingent of Belgian press over here, so it's definitely a big occasion, as all European nights here at Ibrox always tend to be. So really looking forward to it, and plenty of team news to get into.
Never mind that. What's on the menu tonight, food-wise, Blair?
Oh, I believe there was some sort of chicken curry and a macaroni cheese. Always very well fed here at Ibrox.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, salivating. I'm getting a bit of lasagna after I come off this, which you cannot beat. Right, before we delve, well, let's delve right in, shall we? What I was going to say, the sponsor tag there, but that is at the morning briefing, of course. This is tonight's team, folks. There were murmurings a wee while ago that Bojan Miovski has picked up a knock and he has dropped to the bench tonight. So that is a big call from Russell Martin. The team lines up like this: Butland in goal, Tavernier, Suter, Cornelius and Magoma at the back, Raskin, Diamandi in midfield, and Moore, Asgard and Gassama supporting Youssef Chermiti up top. The £10 million Everton signing comes in for his first start. On the bench for Rangers tonight: Kelly, Kieran Wright, Rothwell, Barron, Antman, Giga, Miovski, Rice, Gentles, Curtis, McCallion and Danilo. So that is how Rangers shape up. Let's not beat about the bush, Blair. It's a big blow that Miovski isn't starting this game. Big chance for Youssef Chermiti.
Yeah, there's only one place to start here, Derek, with that team, and it's the striking choice in the striker position. Youssef Chermiti starting his first game for Rangers, making his first appearance from the start. What we're hearing here is that Bojan Miovski has picked up a little bit of a knock in the warm-up, so it will be Youssef Chermiti to lead the line. Just interesting to note, Miovski is fit enough for the bench, so it doesn't look like such a bad one that he's completely been withdrawn, but obviously Russell Martin feels as though he is not fit enough to be in from the start. So a big opportunity for Youssef Chermiti, as we spoke about in the week. It's very unusual. The Johnny was saying that you would have laughed at him had you said that Rangers were going to spend £8 to £10 million on a striker and he wouldn't be your first choice. So this is him getting the opportunity in a big game, in a European game, being brought here to show what he can do and what he was brought into the side for: to score goals, to link up play, and to show us all that he is that £8 million, £10 million player with Premier League pedigree that we all hope we're getting.
I'm saying it right now, he's going to score tonight. I fancy him to get his first Rangers goal, so let's hope he does. Lots of comments coming in, Blair, about another selection that is certainly infuriated a few, and that is that Mikey Moore retains his place. Let's be honest, he's been pretty much off the boil. You've seen in flashes that there is a player there. I thought he would have been dropped tonight for Oliver Antman, I've got to say, or even Finlay Curtis coming in there instead of him. But he's continuing in that starting 11. He's another one. I think the Rangers fans need to see something from this boy. I'd imagine he's starting out on the right-hand side with Gassama on the left. They might actually be wrong. There might be Moore on the left, Gassama on the right-hand side. But in either case, we need to really see something. This is what he's brought to the club for. This is why Rangers beat off a number of clubs for his signature and to play him in games like this. So he has to really show why he was brought up here in the first place.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Derek, I'm a little bit surprised that Oliver Antman doesn't get the start this evening. I thought that this is a game that Russell Martin might approach similarly to the Victoria Pilsen one. You've seen how effective Oliver Antman was in that game when there was a lot of open space to run into. He wasn't getting doubled up on as much, and he had a bit of space to run in behind, because as we've seen from Oliver Antman, he is a cross merchant. He loves absolutely utilising his pace, running at players and getting in and whipping balls into the box, which you would think Youssef Chermiti would enjoy looking at his physical profile. But he's gone with Mikey Moore And for me, and I don't know, I'm not inside that dressing room, but for me, the way I see it, he's gone for Mikey Moore because he would have been impressed with what he's seen from Mikey Moore against Hibs and how he was operating in a little bit of a different role. He was kind of playing an inside, an inverted winger. He was moving into the midfield and letting James Tavernier go a little bit higher up the park. So I think Russell Martin, he seemed pretty enthused about the way that he played on Saturday against Hibs. So I would imagine him taking up a similar sort of position. He'll also, as I alluded to during the week on the morning briefing, Russell Martin really wants players who are technically good on the ball, who can receive the ball, and who are not scared to take the ball in tight situations. And I think for all of Mikey Moore's pitfalls so far this season, I think he's shown that he has got some good touches and he has got good technical ability on the ball. Now, whether he offers you that same threat that Oliver Antman does in terms of running at defenders and going by players and really making things happen, then I don't know if he does. He might prove me wrong. He might be tonight that he shows a bit of goal scoring prowess. But you would like to think, or you would certainly assume to think, that Genk will definitely try and come on to Rangers a little bit, as we often see in European games here at Ibrox, which is why Rangers have so much success with a bit more space in the game, a bit more open. So we'll see what he can do. I don't want to write him off just yet. I know a few people in the comments are, but to be honest, I'll give him this opportunity to go and prove himself on this big stage, because he's clearly got something, and hopefully he shows it in a Rangers jersey sooner rather than later.
Yeah, to be honest, I like my wingers to be pacey and to be looking to hit that byline at every opportunity. I'm not necessarily sure Mikey Moore is someone that is going to be roasting his fullback. But there you go. That is the team that Russell Martin has opted to go for. Yeah, I don't think there's any other real surprises in there. I had my predicted lineup earlier on. I think Miovski would have started had he not picked up that knock in the warm-up. It'd be interesting to hear what Russell Martin has to say on that, incidentally. But like you said, Blair, it can't be too serious if he is on the bench. And I had Antman on that right-hand side. So just two alterations, one obviously enforced. Big match in midfield, of course. You're looking at Raskin and Diamande. Usually in these European matches, they're pretty good. I think if they can dominate in the middle of the park, and all eyes, of course, on Raskin as well, just after his return at the weekend. He's playing against a team that you'll know well as well. What we expect tonight in the middle of that park, Blair, do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. And no surprise to see Nico Raskin in the middle of the park, given his performance at the weekend. As I was saying the other day, how he managed to drag Rangers really through that game against Hibs. We've got it here as a 4-2-3-1, but it's probably going to be much more fluid than that. It's going to be much more dynamic. The system will change in game, as we've seen the last few weeks. It never finishes the way it starts off with the Russell Martin team. So it'll be interesting to see if they start with that holding two, if Asgard maybe drops into that midfield three, if Mikey Moore, if he moves into the midfield three, and that lets James Tavernier get on the overlap. I think it'll be pretty fluid. But as far as Nico Raskin goes, he's the linchpin of this side, and he showed that against Hibs on Saturday. And I think if Rangers are going to get anything out of this game, he's going to have to put in another one of those performances where he drags his teammates along, and he bears the weight of expectation from the crowd. Interesting to see the size of the crowd this evening. There's been a few reports today about how many unsold tickets, how many sold tickets, what it'll be like. We've obviously been to countless European nights here at Ibrox, and the atmosphere is always electric. So we'll see what it's like come kick-off, but I've got no doubt that the fans that are in the stadium will certainly make themselves known.
Yeah, entertain us, Rangers. That's all we ask for. Incidentally, Genk make 4 changes to the team that lost to Union Saint-Gilloise at the weekend. The lineup in what looks like a 5-3-2, so I'll butcher every one of these guys' names probably. Van Krombrugge in goal. A back 5, it looks like, of El Ouadi. Smets, who apparently is very good. That's one to look for. Smets at back, number 6. Sadiq in the middle, Kayembe, Medina on the left-hand side, a midfield of Hrosky, Bangura and Heinen, who's the captain, the number 8, and up front, Stukers and the former Celtic striker up front alongside him as a front pairing. So there you go. That is how Genk line up. I don't think Rangers players should be squeaking in their boots about coming up against this team, although they did finish above Bruges last season in the Belgian top flight. But can you see Rangers getting off to a flyer? They're going to take all 3 points, do you reckon?
Well, I think just touching on that Genk team news before I go into that, Keretsas, the man that I was talking up during the week, the 17-year-old Greek sensation, he is on the bench this evening. So I think that's a bit of a positive that he doesn't start for Genk. He's obviously been struggling with a little bit of an injury. It was touch and go whether he was actually going to make the squad, but he has made the bench. So we'll see if we see him tonight. Obviously, Scotland fans will remember him absolutely tearing Steve Clarke's side apart at Hampden. I think it was back in March. He was absolutely electric that night. So the fact that he's not in the starting 11 is definitely a positive from a Rangers perspective. I think Genk have good players. They definitely have danger men, as all teams at this level do. And if Rangers take their foot off the gas or take their eye off the ball, they will be punished, as we've seen so many times over the years. So I think Rangers, if they come out and they attack this game, I've just been thinking over the past few hours that you look back at that Victoria Pilsen game, and this Rangers team can win these games. They do know what it's like to win these games. And as I said on the podcast during the week, you can't underestimate the mentality aspect for this team. So if that muscle memory kicks in and these players remember that they are good players and that they can win these European nights, then it could be a special one here at Ibrox for all those of a Rangers persuasion.
Yep, looking at some of the stats, Rangers have lost only 3 of the last 18 Europa League matches, group stage matches, 1-9, drawn 6. So decent record at Ibrox. Let's hope that continues this evening against Genk. That team, once again, folks, the big news is Miovski has picked up a knock in the warm-up, so he starts on the bench. So Rangers going with Butland, Tavernier, Suter, Cornelius, Magoma, Raskin, Diamande, Moore, Asgard, Gassama, and Youssef Chermiti. And on the bench for Rangers this evening, the 2 sub-goalkeepers, Kelly and Kieran Wright. Rothwell's back in the squad, Barron, Antman, Giga, Miovski, Royce, Gentle, Curtis, McCallion, and Danilo. Right, a big thank you to Blair. We'll be back on the full-time whistle, folks. So we hope you can join us for that. Let's hope that we're talking about a Rangers victory. That would be nice. But enjoy the game, and we'll be back again. Bye.